Let me just explain to you guys the type
Okay.
of morning that we've had. I don't know if we're okay, right?
It's the
Are we
afternoon
okay?
now. We're fine now.
We're
It's
fine.
the afternoon now. We started this process of getting our makeup done at 10 o'clock.
No, I was there at 9.
Oh, 9 o'clock. So we start this process at 9 a.m. And then Brie gets her makeup done. I get my makeup done with Crystal. And then we're like leaving. And she's like, Jordan, I know we're running late, but I really need you to help me put some air in my tires because one is flat and we both drive BMWs and we both have run flats. And I should have known that before she asked me, but I didn't say anything. I was like, yeah, sure. I put air in my tire all the time. She's like, yeah, will you show me how? I'm like, oh my God, of course. Like, let's go.
But mind you, like my tire has been like this for like a week and it's really not flat, but I just like hate getting in the car and seeing that tire pressure
It
sign.
bothers you.
You know, it really bothers me. So I'm like, Jordan, let's just help me out. Let's do this and we'll figure it out, right? So we go to this rinky-dink little gas station. It was the first one that we could find. And I was like, all right, you're gonna
I
teach
think it
me.
was literally like a tire shop.
Well, I
It
don't
was a
the
tire
tire men
shop.
were non-existent
The men
there.
were not helping. The men were not menning.
No. Like
Okay.
freaking rude.
Bree's like doing a video of me pumping air in the tire. Like, we're like, hee, like, yeah, Jordan, thank you so much. I'm like, oh my God, you're welcome. And it was
She's
like,
doing good. Like I'm like, oh, okay,
she's a
this girl
she's
knows
like,
like
this is how
what
she
she's
does. Yeah.
doing.
Like, I know what I'm doing. And it was like an old school ass, like tire pump. Is that what you call it? A pump.
I don't
And
know.
usually the ones at the nice gas stations have like the thing that's like ding, ding, ding. And it reads and it tells you like, hey, cut this shit off, you know?
Yeah.
This one didn't have that.
No.
So I
Not
just
even
held it
close
there.
to.
I didn't
It
hold it
was
there
like
for long. It was like
1950s.
30 seconds. I held it there. And then Bree calls me.
Well, so then I get gas and then Jordan's like, "All right, send me the address to the place. Let's go." I turn on my car and my car like you have to drive on it for a little bit
For the gas range to come up.
or not even the
I
gas
mean,
for
the
the
tire.
tire pressure to come up. And I start having an anxiety attack because the tire pressure reads 530 psi. So I'm like, Jordan, mind you, the back tires read 32. And so I'm like, oh my God, we have a big issue. I called Jordan and she's like, oh, I don't think that's right.
I'm like, there's no freaking way because I really have put air in my tires so many times, and I'm like, there's no freaking way. I'm like, you're fucking lying. I'm like, are you sure? Like, send me a picture. Damn right she was
Yep.
because that bitch read 530 on each one, and then the ones I put air in and the back ones were like 31.
It
I
was
was like,
really bad.
oh, I was like, we need
Jordan's
to
like,
pull
pull
over.
over now. And I'm like, I'm driving with my hazards on. Thank God the next exit was my house. So I was like, we're pulling over. I'm like slowly driving around trying to find a parking spot. And Jordan's like, bitch, pull the fuck
I'm
over.
like, just park. Like enough is enough. Like, just park because if your tires blow and something happens to you, it's gonna be my fault. I'm never gonna forgive myself. What am I gonna tell
Never.
Tony?
Oh my
So then we
God.
called Tony, and Tony's not pleased with us.
No.
He is not happy. He said, okay, well, I'll just add it to my list that I have to do today. And we're like, all right, we got to go record, but like, we'll be back.
The thing was, Tony was going to
Well,
do it.
It's Tony's fault. Honestly, you know what? It is Tony's fault because he was supposed to do it all weekend when
All
you were in
weekend.
Fort Lauderdale.
Yes.
So, Tony, it's your fault.
Love you, Tony. But he was going to do it today once he was done doing everything that he needed to do. And I was just being impatient. And that's what I get. That is what I get for being impatient.
I mean, I'm capable.
Oh, yeah, I really thought you were. I mean, I've seen you do it 100 times. So, but it's fine. Here we are. We made it. We
We're
took
here.
Jordan's car here today. And
here.
it's going to be good.
here,
Cheers to a good rest of the day.
I'm Jordan McKenzie, and this is my best friend,
Bree Domino, and you're listening to The Shit They Don't Teach You in Real Estate School.
Okay, today is such a good episode.
Yeah, we're
Like-
hyped for today.
So hyped. I mean, because we're going through the process, right? So we started with what do you do when you're licensed? We started with how our process goes on the buyer side of things right now, how to do a showing, how to do a buyer strategy session. So now we are in it and we are looking at houses, we're showing them homes, and they see one that they're interested in offering.
They're ready to write. They're ready to
So-
write it up.
This episode is how to craft a winning offer,
Woo!
which we do
All
I would
the
say
time.
A lot. I mean,
come on. We craft good ass offers.
we do because, just hearing stories like we always say throughout our team with each other. And that's the thing too. We always call each other and bounce ideas off. Like, hey,
Always.
what do you think about this? And she'll be like, well, this is in that neighborhood and that neighborhood has higher pricing. Like, so we really do use each other
Totally.
to bounce these offer ideas off of and to make sure that it's going to be the best thing and best way to win for our clients.
Every
So,
time. It really just depends, right? But we're
Yeah.
going to get into all of that. It's going to be a really good episode.
Yeah.
I hope you guys have loved every episode before this. I mean, we've gotten great feedback. You guys really seem to be enjoying everything. So,
Great feedback. And we also have a Facebook group now.
oh, yes.
The shit they don't teach you in real estate school. I mean, it's literally hot pink and green. I don't know how
Can't
you
miss
can't
it.
miss us, but on Facebook, and we're sharing all the things we're talking about in here, like the buyer monopoly board, different
Yeah.
things that we do within our team. We're sharing it with you guys for literally free. Join it. Let's chat.
Get all the stuff that we're given. You're going to love it.
So, Bree, how many would you say? How
Mhm.
many offers do you write in a week? I mean, seriously, like, when you have a good amount of clients and you're working with, 5 or 6, usually we work with about 5 different clients at a time.
Yeah, for
How many
sure.
are you writing a week?
I would say at least 1 to 2.
Yeah.
I would say 1
Same.
to 2. It really depends on the month. It really depends on the client, but we're definitely writing at least 1 to 2 offers a week. So, and you
I
you
agree.
too, about the same?
Yeah, about the same. Like I said, depending, I mean, shit, that 1 week that
Yeah,
when I went
1 week.
balls to the wall for those 2.5 weeks, I
Yeah.
think I wrote like 5 in 1 week.
Yeah.
And we won like 3 out of the 5 or 4 out of the 5.
Yes. Love that.
There's so many different type of situations and there's so many different ways you can craft a winning offer. And I swear it depends on the freaking house.
The house, the scenario, how many
Every
offers
situation
there
is
is, like
different.
everything, how long it's been on market. So all those things.
So I think at this point in time, you're taking your clients, like we said, you're showing them some homes and they're starting to pique interest in a home. And they're like, when we ask them at the end of our showing, like we said in the previous podcast, what do you rate this? And they're in
Yep.
the 8 to 10 range.
We're in the green zone.
That's offer territory.
We're ready to write.
And so we've already educated them throughout the buyer strategy session of the
Mhm.
process. So they know the process. So now what we're doing is we're going to have, the conversation and talking about how we're going to craft this offer.
Exactly.
So what would you say, like, what do you do first when they're in the house and they're like, hey, it's a 9, and you ask if they want to offer and they're like, we're thinking about it. And so what's the next thing you go into? Bri?
Yeah. So right then and there, I'm like, perfect. Let me go home. I'm gonna run the numbers again. I want to make sure that we're in sync, in line with exactly what we need to be offering. I want to go home and I want to call the listing agent and figure out if they had any offers in hand. I'm doing my due diligence so that I can educate the buyer, right?
Yeah, you're like educating yourself.
Yeah.
And I feel like before you call listing agent, because we always do this, and sometimes we'll even call each other before we call the listing agent. But I think we look at like days on market.
Yep.
We look at the
Comps.
disclosures. We look at comps. We look at all of those things. So before we call the listing agent, we've already educated ourselves through what information is available to us on MLS.
Exactly.
Now, obviously, if we have other questions, the biggest thing is you don't want to look dumb and call the listing agent and ask them something that's on MLS.
Another thing to look at that I think is really important is, and it doesn't matter, but how long has the person that is selling lived there, right?
Oh, yep.
Was it a flip? Have they been
Look
there
at the
for
history.
3 months? Exactly. Yeah. So definitely make sure that you touch on that too. Because the worst thing is when you're trying to educate the buyer and they're like, well, why has the past owner only been there for 3 months? Like
You're
those are
"Shit,
things
I
that,
don't know. But
yeah.
And also, it's not the listing agent doesn't have to tell you that.
No.
But some buyers are kind of funny about that. They're like, well, why are they moving? And more than likely, it's a job transfer. It's a life occurrence that happened that they have to move in that short amount of time.
And they're going to, even if there was an issue, the sellers are not telling you that. They're going to make something up and they're going to be like, this is why, yada, yada, yada,
And when buyers usually ask me that, I don't shut them down, but I
No.
just say, hey, the most common reasons are usually job transfer, some, like I just said, some life change that makes them have to move.
Yeah, exactly.
So when you call the listing agent, we're calling them.
We're building rapport.
Yeah, we are anything that me and them can bond on,
Yep.
we're bonding.
If the listing agent is talking to me, if they're saying on the phone with me, I'm talking right back. I'm staying
Yeah.
on the phone. I'm building that relationship. I'm trying to figure out whatever I can. Of course, I'm going to tell them a little bit about my client,
Yeah.
about,
You're kikiing.
Yes. What does that mean?
Kikiing means like you're like like you're like talking, like you're trying to talk each other's language. You're having like not
That's
girl
so
talk,
funny.
but you're like
I'm like, you're
just-
bullshitting.
you're
You're
chat.
bullshitting around.
Okay, I mean, or you can say bullshit if you're from Buffalo, New York, sure. But
Buffalo,
where are you from?
Long Island.
I meant Long Island. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Wow.
Oh my God, do not disrespect me like that,
Dub
Jordan.
Duck, my best friend, point by 2. So sorry.
But anyways, so we're bullshitting. We're talking to the agent.
And I think you're asking the right questions, like
Yeah.
per situation. So
Mhm.
let's say you look at the history and it's confusing. Like let's say it went off the market, then came back on. And that's a lot of cases. And we've had listings that have done the same thing where buyers have pulled out because of strictly buyer's remorse,
Yeah.
or buyers have pulled out because they can't obtain the funding. So just finding out, you're kind of like, you're putting a story together.
Yeah.
Like you're what's it called? You're a detective.
You're a detective. You're putting
You're
these pieces
snooping.
together.
You're looking at history. You're looking at tax records. You're looking at who's owned it. You're looking
Yep.
at the names on the disclosures if they match the name.
Oh my God, please.
Oh, that's
Guys, for the love of God, please make sure that the names on the contract match the name on the deed.
Oh my
Because
Lord.
if they don't, we have a big problem. We got a big issue.
Or there's 2 or 3, like if someone had passed away, like you,
Mhm.
all that, those questions need to be asked because you're going to get the title search or that part of, the transaction is going to be like, uh-oh,
We got a big red flag.
Deborah's going to be calling us. We're going to be in trouble. It ain't good.
Yeah, we
You
want to
know.
stay ahead of things and
Yeah.
and make sure that you're educated. So
And on the phone with the listing agent, obviously we're asking the questions so we can put that story together. But I think we're also asking, and this is such like a touch and go question, but it needs to be asked. Like, do you guys have any offers in
Ooh,
hand? And I
it's the
think
first question that's asked.
it's the first
Come on.
question. And I hate as a listing agent, because we do list sometimes. I hate when people text me and like, you have any offers? I'm like, bitch,
Guys, pick up the damn phone.
like pick up the phone. And I understand some listing agents don't answer you,
Yeah.
and that's fine. Then I'll shoot them a text and I won't say what my questions are. I'll say, hey,
Give me
this
a
is
call.
Jordan with Call Group. My clients really are interested in offering on your
Yep.
property. Da 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 da. Can you please give me a call? Just have like a few quick questions. And they always call you,
They
but
always
don't
call.
ask the questions on text unless they literally text you and say, hey, I'm in so and so, I can text you.
Yeah.
And then that's when that's okay to do that. But
Mhm. The only way that you're going to build rapport is by having that phone conversation. So it really is so important to do that, and really don't be the agent that just texts everything. Like, just get on the phone.
well, on
Ask
the
those
phone, they tell you
questions.
more.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
on the phone, they're like, oh, well, that you build rapport with them and they're like, oh, I know Tina. You know
Yep.
what I mean? And I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, you do? I love Tina. Like that's, that's our boss and blah, blah, blah. And they're like, well, I will tell you. And you're like, tell me the tea, girl.
Yes, you're like, give it to me.
You're like, tell
What
me.
do we got?
So they do tell you more on the phone because it's not in writing. And
Yeah.
I'm not saying anything like crazy illegal or anything.
No.
They might give you a little bit more of a leadway of how many offers they have
Yeah.
and things like that. So
You're so right. You're so right. So definitely do that. So the questions that we're asking when we're on the phone.
take a minute.
Take
use
a
your,
minute.
Use your
Hold
words,
on.
babe. Use
Hold
your
on.
words, babe. Use your words.
So what are the questions? So are there any offers in hand?
Mhm.
How have the showings been?
Yeah. Another thing is asking, like, not saying what's the seller's motivation, but say,
Yeah.
hey, is there a certain closing date they
Yep.
prefer? Do
That's
they
a
need
great
some
one.
kind of like if my clients have the time, like, hey, do they need a lease back? Because a lease back, obviously, you can close and then give them like a free week
Yeah.
or two. That way they can
That's some of your
sellers,
terms of the offer, right?
Yeah.
That's the icing on the cake.
Yeah.
If we can do that, then we got a little win right there.
because the sellers can get their funds, they can have their money in their bank account, but still not have to move for another week.
Yeah.
And you give it to them for free. And for our buyers, we explain to them like, hey, your first month is wrapped up in your loan. So
Yeah.
you don't have a payment
You've
until a
already
month
paid
and a
that.
half,
Exactly.
So that's another good little way to sweeten the pie or pot, or what is that?
The pot. Sweeten the pot. Love that.
If it is like first day on market, and obviously buyers still want you to make that call, which I always do, I might call them and laugh and be like, I know it's the first day on market. Like, I know you guys have a lot of showings.
Yeah.
Do you
That
have
house
anything
is
in hand?
beautiful.
Yeah,
Like,
compliment the shit out of it.
yep.
Do you
You
guys
guys
have
did a
anything in
great
hand?
job
And when it-
staging or whatever the case is, you
Yeah,
know?
just compliment it.
Yeah.
Because people appreciate that, especially when the house really does look like the photos, or it is staged well. Like that, that's a lot to buyers, I
Yeah.
feel like.
I think one other thing to touch on though is when you're talking to the agent, just don't ever guarantee an
Oh, yeah.
offer. People, like your buyers, could say, yes, this is the one, this is the one. And then they go home and they really have that in depth conversation and they're running numbers, right, with the
Mhm.
lender and they're doing this and that. And then they could text you and say, hey, never mind. Like, this isn't the one. We're not 100% sold on it. It's not the right time. Whatever the
Right.
case is, always tell the agent, even after that phone conversation, like towards the end, I make sure that I'm saying, either way, if my client's going to be writing an offer or not, I'm going to shoot you a text and let you know what our game plan is. This way, you're not waiting on us, or this way, you can wait for us to have that offer submitted,
Yeah.
So just, it's again, having the open, like transparent conversations is really important. Conversations are key during this whole process right now.
Communication. If you just text them, that's what we were saying about the phone call. You make the phone call, and at the end of it, like Bree was saying, hey, I'm going to update you either way.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want you, like you said, be waiting around.
No, the listing agent has to go back to the seller and like
Mhm.
give them some type of feedback,
They're
So
playing the same game.
yeah.
Yeah.
We've spoken to the listing agent. We got the information that we needed. We did all of our due diligence on the
Mhm.
buyer side of things. Now we need to go ahead and call our client and we're going through it. This is when we're literally crafting our offer right now so that we know what we're going to be submitting. What does that conversation look like?
I mean, for one, just how you need to present it, how you need to present yourself in the conversation. You need to stay even keel.
No emotions on
No
our end.
emotions. You really just need to say, hey, since you guys rated this a 9 or 10,
Mhm.
and it's an offer territory, and you're thinking about moving forward, this is what the information I gathered from the listing agent. You want to role play it real quick?
Yeah, let's do
Okay,
it.
let's role play it.
Okay.
What you want to be?
I'll be the agent. All right. So ding, ding, ding. I'm giving Jordan a call right now. Hey, Jordan. Okay.
Hey,
So my favorite client right here. Love her.
Sup, bitch? Tell me what she said.
Tell me what we got going on. All right. So I just talked to the listing agent.
Mhm.
It seems that they have one offer in hand. Of course they do. We're 2 weeks on the market, right? So here's what we got to do. We got to come up with a winning offer right now. We got to figure out exactly what it's going to take. It
Okay.
looks like comps are saying that it's priced reasonably well, but again, we do have an offer in hand. What were you guys thinking as far as an offer price? Like, what have you and your husband spoken about?
Well, since the house is listed at 500,
Uh-huh.
and it's been on for a week,
Mhm.
and I feel like a lot of houses are going the first week. And I mean, do you think we can offer a little bit under, or what do you think?
Yeah, so that's a great question. I mean, here's the thing, Jord. They do have another offer in hand, right?
Okay.
So, realistically, from my perspective, what I'm thinking is that they probably offered list price. They probably offered list price. They probably offered a decent amount of due diligence, but nothing crazy.
Mhm.
So, here's what I suggest. I suggest that we do slightly over, right? Let's call it 5025. Let's do 5025. I mean, the house was immaculate, right? I mean, there was
It
not
was.
anything out of line. There was a new HVAC. The roof was only 6 years old. I mean, all of our big ticket items were in good working order. What I would recommend to show the seller that we have skin in the game,
Right.
let's go a little bit higher on due diligence, okay?
Okay.
So whereas they might have done 5,000 because that's the 1%, I'm going to recommend that we do anywhere from 7,500 to 10,000 in due
Okay.
diligence. How does that sound?
It's a little scary because, we don't know if there's anything wrong with the house, and due diligence is honestly non-refundable,
Yeah.
but we really do want the house, and I guess we're not putting any more higher in purchase price like with our loan.
Yeah.
So I think that'll be fine. Let me just talk to my husband.
Yeah, definitely. Talk to your husband, have that conversation. I think what we can also do is they said that they wanted a 3-week close. So that's where our local lender is going to come into play. We can
Okay.
definitely do the 3-week close. They still need to, move after that, but they need the funds for their closing.
Mhm.
So we can let's give them like a 2-week buyer paid rent back. And that'll
Okay.
put some icing on the cake as well. So we're doing 5025. We're doing a $7,000 to $10,000 due diligence.
Okay.
Well, they said that we can take the washer, dryer, and the fridge. We'll
Oh,
take
nice.
those, do the 3-week closing. The lender said it's fine. We already spoke to them. And then we give them 2 weeks free, allow them time to get out and move their stuff out.
Okay.
I think that's the winning offer.
So you think if we do this, we're definitely gonna win?
I'll never guarantee it, but I think we're 100% in the game right there.
All right, let me talk to him. I'll get back with you.
Perfect.
See, that was good because this is the thing. Bree's telling me her opinion, but she's not being pushy.
No,
And another
whatever you
question-
want to do at the end of the day,
because if you're pushy, your ass gonna get blamed. Your ass is
Yes.
gonna get blamed when they get the house, when they have buyer's remorse,
Mhm.
and when they decide something's wrong with the house. Oh my God, it can literally be like there's no irrigation and they didn't realize it.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, it can be something as small as that and something that can be fixed. But the fact that they didn't realize it, and you as their agent, whatever, you probably mentioned it, but they don't remember that, they're gonna blame you.
They're going to blame you. So that
Be
leads to
unbiased.
yes, and that leads to an amazing next point. You better
Oh.
have everything in writing. And I'm going to share the template that I use. It is
It's
amazing.
so good.
I do not send them anything to sign until they acknowledge the template that I've shared with them. So essentially, it is all the offer terms, it's their loan type, it's who their lender is, it's who the closing attorney is, it's what's
The
what's
closing
included
dates,
in
due
the
diligence
offer. Yep.
dates.
Yeah, everything. Everything that we're offering is going into this email. And then I also put little snippets of every single document they're signing in there. It goes over that due diligence is non-refundable. It goes everything. I am sending this email. They're not getting the paperwork until they acknowledge that they understand and that this is the offer
Confirm
that
it.
they want to submit. Okay. You have to do this because if God forbid something happens, you just relay back to the email that you sent that they acknowledged.
Say, hey, you guys confirm this.
Yeah.
The terms that we spoke about on the phone, because that conversation about terms needs to be on the phone.
Yeah.
And that's why you follow up everything you do in writing. 'Cause
Every
it
time.
saves your ass.
Yep.
And also, this is a conversation that you're
Mhm.
having with them at first.
Yeah.
And then you're putting it on paper. Real quick, let's just back up. So
Yeah.
if they say, you're on the phone and in the house, they really liked it, right?
Mhm.
But then they're like, hey, we're hesitant, and they're kind of backing off from it, and they're kind of saying like, no, we don't think we're in offer territory anymore.
Yeah.
This is when you need to ask the questions and not get pissed and not be like, fine, like, don't worry about it.
Yeah,
You
like
know,
I
you-
just wasted my whole
my God.
Saturday
No.
afternoon. Like, I'm sorry.
no, this is your
boo-hoo.
time to dig deep, and you need to ask the question and say, hey, totally get it. Like, we've only looked at 3 houses. Completely understand. But real quick, just for my knowledge, what's making you hesitant
Yeah.
on moving forward with an offer? Because I just don't want to show you houses that might have that in the future, because I don't want to waste our time.
No, you're so right.
So what didn't you like about the house? Or is it the price, condition, location? Like, what's going on here? I just want to kind of level up and make sure that I'm not going to show you a house that has this in the future.
And then literally, if they're like the bedrooms are too small, you're gonna go in and you're gonna see what those sizes of those bedrooms are. If the bedroom
And
is a 10 by 10 bedroom, then the next house that you see, you're not gonna send it to them if they
Mm.
have 3 10 by 10 bedrooms because they just said that the bedrooms were too small,
And
right?
that's when you're going to come in as the great agent you are.
Yeah. And it shows that you're listening and that you're
And then when they send you a house where you already know it's going to be a waste of time
Yeah,
to go see, you say,
exactly.
hey, remember you didn't like small bedrooms? These bedrooms are the same size at the
Mhm.
house at 123 Main Street that we didn't offer on.
Exactly.
So is that cool with you guys? Believe me, I will show it to you all day long.
Yeah.
But is that okay? And that's when you come back with, they're like, oh shit, she listened to me. She
Mhm.
knows what I want. But either way, if they say yes or no, especially if they say yes, this is your time to be a leader. Like,
Guys, they're literally looking for you to
they need
be the
guidance.
leader. You have to tell them this is what our next step is. This is what we're doing. This is what's going to win the offer. This is how we're going under contract. Do you trust me right now? This is my time to help you guys and to get this under contract. The buyers don't know. We're in this every single day. We see exactly what the offers are. We see what
Mhm.
due diligence looks like. We know everything that's going on. So this is where you really do have to like step up and you need to be that D and you need to tell them exactly what needs to happen in
D as
order
in
to get
driver.
it done. Yeah.
D as in driver, not the other D.
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
did my
don't be a dick.
That's
Is
where
that-
my mind went. I don't know. Reed's role play, like we just did, obviously was great. And I think what I also add into, because some people, if they don't think a house is worth it, they're going to be like, hey, I would only pay X amount for this house.
Oh, yep.
If they're still like, we want to offer, but we don't want to offer this, my
Mhm.
question is always like, hey, are you going to be upset if we lose this house? Like,
Correct.
is this your house? If this is your house, we need to go in hard. Like,
Yep.
we need to do X, Y, and Z, like Bree presented, to make the offer sweeter.
Yeah.
We need to do these 3 things. Now, if they're like, hey, we're willing to offer this, but we don't want to go over, that's when you need to give them your honest opinion and say, hey, you know what? Like, the house was listed at 500. If they wanted to offer 480 and there was already another offer, that's when I would say to them, hey, completely get where you're coming from. You are in control in this situation, and
Totally.
it's your opinion on what you think this house is worth. I can show you data all day long.
Yep.
I can show you the comps. I can tell you this home is priced right. But if, in your opinion, if it isn't worth 500K, 500, 2,500, then it's not worth that to you. Do I think we'll win this at 480 with another offer? It's not likely. So I don't want you to get your hopes up, but is that okay?
Yeah.
Like, are you going to be okay if we lose this?
Yeah. No, I totally agree. I think that's a great point to bring up because that's kind of what's going on right now. It's kind of what's going on. People think that, there's not as many buyers out there. People think that interest rates are higher. And so they're trying to get in and they're trying to get in under as much as they can.
Mhm.
And unfortunately, and I mean, at least in our market, there is still multiple offers. It doesn't matter that there's, a little bit of higher interest rates. The demand is there
Inventory's still
because we
low.
have no supply.
Mhm.
Correct.
So people are like, I'm waiting for the rates to drop. Okay, when you wait for the rates to drop, you're going to be back in the ball field with
Yep.
several other buyers.
3 million. 3 million other buyers are coming out to play, my people.
From our team meeting, bro.
Do you
3
guys
million.
want to
I
compete
died
with
when they
3
said
million
that.
people?
I
Like,
died. When
no.
they said that, I died. I was like, are you kidding me? But it's so true, because when the rates go down,
Everyone comes out to
everyone
play.
comes back. So do you
So-
want to be in that game? We're going to be in this game where we can literally craft your offer,
Yeah.
and then we can refi.
And then you have 6 months ahead of everyone that just waited for the interest rates to drop, right?
That you got equity.
Yeah. You're paying down your mortgage and you're building equity. It's amazing. Oh my
Yeah.
God. That's the way to go. Just listen to us. We're telling you
Listen.
the truth. So we got the confirmation from them. They responded to the email.
To the template we talked
To the
about.
template. Yep. We're sending them all the paperwork now. They're going to go through and sign it. And then at that point, we also have another template that we'll definitely share that we send to the listing agent when it's
Cool.
time to submit the offer. Set yourself apart and send this email.
Make it clean. Don't just send that shit through Dotloop or your whatever signing platform
Guys,
you use.
Don't do that, please.
And then the email that we send the listing agent, we say, and love letters are not
we
a
don't
thing.
no,
No
can't
more.
do it.
But I still will put in the sentence,
Yeah.
the first or second sentence, like, hey,
it's a little spiel about our
Yeah.
client, right? So I'll literally be like, this is their first time home buyers. If they have family that lives around in the area, whatever, they grew
Where
up
they
on
move
this
back.
side of
Yep.
town. Like,
Something sentimental that just makes them know these are real people.
yep.
You know what I mean? And a lot of times, even though still like when I'm a listing agent, I see that I'm like, hey, oh my God, these people's parents live right over the street. Isn't that
Yep.
cool? Just because it's just a cool fact, like to tell the sellers.
Another thing too, if you're in the house and you see a Yankees flag,
Oh,
right?
oh,
And you're from
oh,
New York,
oh,
or if
oh.
you're a fan of the Yankees, then at the bottom of the email, you're going to be like, go Yankees, whatever. Like there's little things that you got to set yourself apart. Like this is
Yeah.
where, especially if there's multiple offers, you got to do what you got to do to just put yourself one step above everyone else.
Another thing too, like a good luck thing, like we do the angel numbers.
Oh, my favorite.
In the end of the offer price, like like so you would say 500 to 111
Yep.
or 500 to 777. And I swear I've had listing agents or listing agents be like, the sellers notice the angel numbers.
I love
and it's
that.
just
I love that.
and it's just crazy. And like you said on one offer, hey, wasn't it 111 or whatever represents a new beginning?
Yes. So if you guys got to look up the angel numbers, but there's literally one, and I literally tell my clients, I'm like, look up angel numbers, like tell
What
me which
speaks
one
to
you want.
you?
Yeah, which one is the best for you. And then we'll literally put like, 500, 111 or whatever. And it literally says like this radiates new beginnings and so much luck ahead or whatever
Yeah.
whatever the angel number is. And it's so cute. And I always include that in the offer spiel as well. So definitely do little things like that. It really helps. But when you're sending that email to the listing agent, a couple things, but the first one is to write out what
The terms.
Yeah, write out all the terms.
Write out offer price, due diligence, earnest money amount, due diligence date where everything needs to be by closing date,
what
loan type,
loan
what
type.
conveys.
Yes, like
it
all
needs
of
to
this
go in a
stuff.
list, so they can read it. And
It
listing
makes it
agent
so
much
easy.
easier.
And they appreciate that like more than you actually know, because they're not trying to go through this entire offer and like putting things in
When
their
they're putting in the
spreadsheet
they can just
for
copy
their
and paste
client.
that.
Yep.
Also, fill out the whole entire document.
Guys,
Even on the listing agent side, fill out. It's on MLS. This is public knowledge. The only thing I might not
do
fill
people
out.
not fill that out?
I don't. Well, when I had my little listing, like a few
Someone
weeks
didn't
ago,
do that?
I got like 3 offers and no one filled out my information, which is
What?
fine. I'm not lazy.
No,
I'll
that's
do it.
ridiculous.
But like that's just like the standard.
It's completely the standard.
standard.
And if you guys are not doing that, guys, fix it and
Fix
do
it.
that,
Fix
please.
it. At that point, we submitted the documents. We put it in a nice, clean. And I've won offers before because she goes, "You presented it so nicely.
So nicely. They love it.
You presented it so nicely,
and that shows who you are as an agent,
that
right?
you're
Like,
gonna go through this deal clean as shit.
yeah.
You're gonna get to the closing table, and you're gonna be
smooth.
on top of your game,
I also always put the lender's contact information.
so they can call them.
Yep. It depends on how many offers or what the
Yeah.
case is, but I'll sometimes even tell my lender, hey, give this agent a call, let them know that we're well qualified and that we're good to go. We can close this loan. Are they fully approved? Are they not?
Yep.
Like all these things, like let the lender have that
It's
conversation too.
reassurance, especially in the multiple offer situation.
100%.
It just lets them know, like, hey, we're good. We got this. We're
Yeah.
ready to close. So let's get it done. So then we send the documents to our clients. We obviously ask them if they have any questions. We explain it to them. Sometimes I've hopped on Zoom, brought the document up, been like, this is what this is, and all
Yeah.
those kind of things. Then we say, all right, guys, I always send them a text. I'm about to submit. And like the fingers crossed.
Always, yeah.
And I send it to the agent. And you still need to text your clients because they're going to be so worried and so excited.
Guys, they're not going to bed if they don't hear
They're
back.
not. And don't be like the agent who's like, oh my God, like leave me alone. No, this is the time where it's like the deliberation period.
Guys,
Like
this is
be there.
huge.
Be
Their
there for
emotions
them.
are all over the place.
Yeah.
They're like, oh my God, are we getting it? Are we
Yeah.
not? Like, communicate.
So
people.
I update them. And honestly, sometimes it's not even the listing agent fault.
No.
Fault. It's the seller's schedule. So sometimes I'm like, hey, I know we're waiting. We're
Mhm.
playing the waiting game here. But listing agent said she'd get back to me in a few hours. Like, just sit tight. I promise I'll update you as soon as they let me know.
Or if they were one of the first ones submitted, hey guys, we're not going to hear back till Sunday at 5.
Yep. And it's Friday night.
Yeah.
Because they want to have the showings all weekend.
Yeah. Just sit tight. We put our best foot forward. Let's see what happens on Sunday. I've let her know that if there's anything else that we can do to make this work, to reach out to me and let's see what we can do here. So again, it's just all about that communication.
No, I definitely agree. Communication on both ends to your client and to the listing agent.
Yeah.
Like we said earlier, we write a ton of offers. We do this shit all the time.
All the time.
And this is the ideas that we've came up with and also from collaboration with our team members.
Yeah.
So we really hope that you guys got some nuggets that you can use in your own market to write freaking winning offers because we
Guys.
are all trying to be top fucking producers.
Go
Okay?
win your clients some houses. If anyone needs help, if you guys need like suggestions or have questions about
Get in our
things
Facebook
that you
group.
can do, yeah, put it in the Facebook group. Like we're here to help. We're going to respond ASAP. We're going to give you little tips and tricks that we do. Again, every situation's different. So we got to analyze that situation a little bit and then we'll help you to help your client. So I hope you guys are loving the pod. I hope that you're loving the Facebook group. Check back on the Facebook group for the templates that we use.
The email templates to
Yes.
the listing agent and to
You're
our
going to love
clients,
them.
because these, like we said, set you apart with your clients and set you apart with the listing agent. So come back for more, baby.
Love you
Cheers.
guys. Cheers.
Mwah.
All right. And that wraps up this episode of The Shit They Don't Teach You in Real Estate School.
Remember to like, follow us, subscribe. We're on YouTube, baby. If you have any questions, comments, hit us in the DMs.
We'll see you next week.
Woo!